Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
South Africa Global is the first and biggest private estate developer in the Gambia and present in 7 other African countries. We take pride in leading innovation in all spheres of real estate sector in the Gambia and beyond. As such, we are launching the development of the first smart and modern office and retail towers in the Gambia called Taft Twins. The Taft Twins is located in the heart of the Kanifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive away from Banjul. Taft Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 square meters to over 1,000 square meters with 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24 hours electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shop. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333. Thank you.
Yunus English School. For quality and affordable education, look no further. Yunus English School has what you've been looking for. Yunus English School is a leading institution in the Gambia with nursery, lower basic, upper basic and senior secondary education with magnificent teaching and learning facilities. Yunus English School has highly qualified and experienced teaching staff preparing students for university and beyond. Yunus English School is an institution with distinct academic excellence, and the school operates not only in the usual 5 days a week but 6 days a week, Mondays to Saturdays, breaking a remarkable record on credit hour coverage for all our students. Contact Yunus English School today to register your children on 77814443 or 7070091 or still on 9249426. Better still, you can email yunusenglish@yahoo.com. At Yunus English School, excellence is a priority without compromise. Yunus English School. For quality and affordable education, look no further. Yunus English School has what you've been looking for. Yunus English School is a leading institution in the Gambia with nursery, lower basic, upper basic and senior secondary education with magnificent teaching and learning facilities. Yunus English School has highly qualified and experienced teaching staff preparing students for university and beyond. Yunus English School is an institution with distinct academic excellence, and the school operates not only in the usual 5 days a week but 6 days a week, Mondays to Saturdays, breaking a remarkable record on credit hour coverage for all our students. Contact Yunus English School today to register your children on 77814443 or 7070091 or still on 9249426. Better still, you can email yunusenglish@yahoo.com. At Yunus English School, excellence is a priority without compromise.
His Excellency President Adama Barrow has demonstrated his leadership for the development of the country. He has realized the importance of infrastructure for any meaningful outcome to take place. For inclusive development to occur, President Barrow prioritizes rural roads development, constructing highways, bridges, and rural feeder roads. Infrastructure includes the construction of modern markets, an international conference center, and making healthcare more accessible. Under the Barrow administration, the Gambia has put on its smile again and opened to the world and bent on providing ultra-modern facilities to welcome visitors at the Banjul International Airport. Building modern classrooms, creating a conducive environment for teaching and learning is worth the investment in education to enhance skills development and acquisition. President Barrow commits to improving electricity transmission and distribution as it is a bedrock for socio-economic advancement. These are just the tip of the iceberg, while you are all invited to join the National People's Party to accompany President Adama Barrow to the IEC headquarters on Thursday, 4th November 2021, to present his nomination papers for the presidential elections 2021. Barrow is for peace, progress, and unity for Gambians.
It's a warm reception to our studio here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News with me, Jacqueline Koli. In the headlines tonight, TRRC presents final report to President Barrow. Ori Koli outlines reasons why APRC executives endorse Barrow. GAF holds graduation ceremony for personnel on completion of QRF training. Christian Islamic Councils preach peace ahead of general elections. Monitoring group on code of conduct for elections warn against hate speech. On the international scene, Ethiopia's PM Abiy Ahmed leading military from the front line. Sudanese mourn victims of protest crackdown. Nigeria security. Fears of Boko Haram fade in Borno State. Those were the headlines and other news in detail. Following 3 years of painstaking truth-seeking exercise, the TRRC on Thursday submitted its final report and recommendations to President Adama Barrow at the presidency in Banjul. Thursday's presentation of the TRRC report to President Barrow is seen in several quarters as yet another watershed moment in the Gambia's search for reconciliation and healing. Dado Cham has more in this report.
From 15 October 2018 to the conclusion of its 871-day public and in-camera hearings this year, the truth-seeking body had testimonies from 393 witnesses, a good chunk of whom are victims. The submission of the final report and recommendations followed 2 postponements. The chairman of the TRRC, Dr. Lamin J. Sise, enumerated the forms of rights violations and abuses that the TRRC had and how the Commission was able to accomplish its mandate.
The violations and abuses of human rights narrated by the witnesses include, inter alia, the following. 1. Arbitrary arrests. 2. Unlawful detention. 3. Unlawful killings, including extrajudicial executions. 4. Torture. 5. Enforced disappearances. 6. Sexual and gender-based violence, including rape and castration. 7. Inhuman and degrading treatment. 8. Witch hunting. 9. Fake HIV/AIDS treatment. And 10. General and widespread abuse of public office.
The vice chairwoman of the TRRC, Adelaide Sauce, said the 393 days of the hearings were harrowing for both the Commission and the general public. She, however, thanked the victims for summoning the courage to enable the TRRC to establish the truth.
From the victims, especially those victims who had the courage to appear before the public hearings, because it was not easy. Some of them were threatened. Some of them, when they went back to their communities, we had to give them safe housing because their communities were not happy that they testified. At the TRRC, we say a big thank you. We are grateful that they had that courage. Otherwise, the truth would not have been told. Without truth, there will not be reconciliation. So we are grateful to those victims. We are grateful to the witnesses, both expert and non-expert, who came and told us the truth of what happened in the country during those 22 years and the repercussions of those actions.
President Adama Barrow meanwhile said no one could be more interested in the TRRC than him, considering the fact that the commission was his brainchild and will be among his legacies.
We are here today to receive the report of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission, TRRC. This event highlights another milestone in the implementation process of our transition program, and it marks a great achievement for the Gambian nation. On reflection, it is a source of pride that in 2017, my government took the wise decision to establish the TRRC through an act of the National Assembly. As contained in its mandate, the Commission was to investigate human rights and other abuses committed from 1994 to 2016.
The Gambian leader entreated victims and families to exercise patience as he gave them the assurances of his government's support and the determination to ensure they get justice.
In a special way, I thank the witnesses and their families for their fortitude and courageous testimonies. I assure them that my government will ensure that justice is done. But I urge them to be patient and allow the legal process to take its course. That way, justice will prevail and we will be able to heal as a country and move forward united and stronger with greater determination.
The TRRC report contains 17 volumes. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Dado Chan.
Former Fonyi Bondali legislator Bori Koli has been explaining why the APRC executives jumped into the NPP bandwagon. Honorable Koli has given a litany of reasons why the Fabakary Tambong Jatta-led executive threw their weight behind President Barrow as he addresses a mass NPP-led coalition rally in Bondali. More in this report.
Bori Koli told the Bondali rally that the APRC executive's decision to bandwagon with the NPP-led coalition was the outcome of a consensus that followed a meeting in which they discussed the issue of the NPP-APRC alliance. According to him, the APRC top brass came to the agreement that national unity and reconciliation can be only achieved through President Adama Barrow. The former Fonyi Bondali National Assembly member singled out Yaya Tamba of the APRC splinter group that allied itself to Mama Kande for criticism, accusing Tamba of being the mastermind of the fractures in the communities in Fonyi. He accused Tamba of spearheading the APRC Ghana alliance talk only to back out and initiate another alliance discussion with the GDC. This to Honorable Koli smacks of hypocrisy, but he gave APRC supporters the assurance that APRC is intact and that they should toe the party line and support President Barrow's re-election bid. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Dado Chan.
A graduation ceremony for personnel of the military who completed training as a part of the Quick Reaction Force was on Tuesday held at the Army Training School in Fajara. The event was attended by officers and soldiers of the Gambia Armed Forces, the British High Commissioner, among other dignitaries. Model Bajo reports.
The 3-month intensive pre-deployment training was conducted by the British Army short-term training team in coordination with the Gambia Armed Forces Training School. It bordered on various specialties such as the protection of UN personnel and civilians, mission mandate implementation, war fighting and military weapon system, and it was part of the Gambia Armed Forces reprofessionalization drive. The Deputy Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Mamad Ocham, reiterated the Army's commitment to developing the military by creating more capacity enhancement opportunities, noting that Quick Reaction Force was created to fulfill a pledge to deploy troops to UN African peacekeeping mission.
The Gambia, as a member of the Economic Community of West African States sub-region, is currently faced with a deadly terrorist and extremist jihadist threat that aims to destroy our states, our way of life, our culture, and our economic systems. We cannot be unconcerned or be a weak link in this deadly war. And we cannot be a weak link in the chain. Neither can we sit back and watch our neighbors in the sub-region to perish in this unconventional war. And hence, this preparation to not only support challenged countries in the sub-region, but again to build the internal resilience and capacity to make sure that we are alive and able to ward off any terrorist challenge in our motherland.
Deputy CDS Cham informed the QRF contingent of the High Command's readiness to equip them for any international mission, as the government has already procured equipment for them. The British High Commissioner to the Gambia, David Belgrove, re-emphasized his government's commitment to accelerating the Gambia government's transformative agenda for the army. The diplomat expressed the optimism that the military ties between London and Banjul will continue to yield fruits, citing the camaraderie between the two countries in the First and Second World Wars.
I should like to congratulate all of you who have completed this demanding course. I should like to thank the British team led by Captain Heaton, who have worked alongside the Gambian Armed Forces to deliver this course. Also the British Defence Staff, especially our Defence Attaché, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Cooper and Captain Tom Conlon, and the British Peace Support Team represented here today by Major Lute. They've worked so hard to make this happen. And of course, none of this would be possible without the cooperation of the Chief of Defence Staff and the leadership of the Gambian Armed Forces here at the training school. Last week, I was very privileged to witness a demonstration of what you have achieved. It was impressive. I am confident that the partnership between the UK Armed Forces and the Gambian Armed Forces will continue to grow and strengthen.
The contingent commandant of the Gambia Armed Forces Quick Reaction Force, Lieutenant Colonel Omar Obi Bojang, thanked the Army High Command and the British short-term training team for the opportunity and logistical support for the exercise.
In terms of provision of all the necessary logistics and training, the partnership and the efforts ongoing is indeed well appreciated, especially the decision to invite the British training team. Furthermore, sir, the granting of approval for everything we requested to ensure that the training was a success speaks volume of how the Defense Headquarters is serious about this project. This is indeed gratifying. Equally, sir, the visit of the Chief of Defense Staff Gambia Armed Forces to our troops during the field training exercise does not only exhibit his care for the troops, but clearly demonstrated how well he wants to see through the deployment of this contingent. Sir, kindly convey our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the staff at the Defense Headquarters for all the support they continue to give to QRF-1. I and my troops are equally appreciative of them.
The commandant of the British Army short-term training team, Captain Leach, gave an overview of the training, describing it as impressive.
The training started back in September with a 4 weeks Support Weapons Cadre, delivering sniper training, assault pioneer training, anti-tank training and mortar training. This saw 4 groups of GAF soldiers go from zero to hero. No previous experience, you guys were quick to learn and assimilate information and take it on board and practically apply that into real life. What that saw by the end of those 4 weeks was 4 groups of people that were able to conduct those skills in a good fashion, as we then saw on the live fire package and later on the FTX. This is recognised by those amongst you who wear the flashes and emblems who have successfully passed those courses. So to those people, I congratulate.
Meanwhile, certificates were awarded to trainees and instructors. For Star TV, I am Modu Elbaji.
An interfaith press conference on the need for unity and peaceful conduct of the incoming general election was on Thursday held at the Supreme Islamic Council headquarters in Kanifing. Pintakoli reports.
The Christian and Supreme Islamic Councils, as well as the Office of the Imam Ratib of Banjul, are also exploring ways in ensuring that the country's peace is not endangered throughout the election period and beyond. They have joined a growing number of organizations, both local and international, to spread the gospel of peace as the Gambia prepares for its first election after the fall of former President Yahya Jammeh. The Imam Ratib of Banjul, Chorno Aliou Maska, pointed out that the tolerance and respect for divergence that the Supreme Islamic and the Christian councils exhibit should serve as an example for everyone to emulate.
diine yi tënku ci ñaari parasor yi nga xam ne ñoo élif diine yi ci réew mi mooy Supreme Islamic Council diine ji yëpp ñu ngi ci seen ron parasor waaye Christian Council itam diine Christian yëpp mu ngi nekk seen ron parasor yàlla def ñu déggoo gannaaw buñ bokkooyee duñu wutee ci dara ànd gi ñu def nii dafay jàngal suñuy nit ne ñun kilifa yi buñ nekkee benn kenn mës a dégg ci ñun kàddu gu sew guy kontoor sa diine morom loolu moo tax suñu njaboot ñun ñëpp ànd ci yar boobu doo fekk benn chrétien muy wax lu ñaaw jëmee ci islam doo fekk benn jullit muy wax lu ñaaw jëmee ko ci chrétien.
Imam Ratib urged religious leaders to always spread messages of peace and unity among their congregations. He advised the underage to refrain from meddling in the election and allow eligible voters exercise their rights to vote, adding that Gambians should accept the verdict of Allah with regard to whosoever is chosen to lead. The president of the Supreme Islamic Council, Sheikh Issa Dabo, described Gambia's prevailing peace as Allah's blessing. This, he went on, has enabled Gambians to cohabit peacefully, and it is a factor for the country's attractiveness to international visitors. He stressed that every Gambian should talk and walk peace, calling on imams to make peace the uppermost theme in their sermons pre- and post-election. The Secretary General of the Gambia Christian Council, Reverend Rondi Louis Prom, said, "There is no better time to preach peace than now."
Of all the times we can show really that we are a religious people, now is the best time to do that. Of all the time we talk about peace, we talk about love, we talk about unity, there is no better time to do that than now. Now when all of us have our own individual interests, all of us have our own political parties to support, all of us have our own personal agendas, but yet at the same time, all of us have the same needs. We all need peace. All of us have the same need. We all need security. All of us has the same need. We all need food and shelter.
He outlined the many benefits of the country's existing peace.
Just a few weeks ago, there was no petrol. It was not Muslims only who suffered. It was not Christians only who suffered. Everybody who needed petrol suffered. So the petrol was not looking at your face to see whether you're a Muslim or a Christian. It's the same with the food commodity. And when the absence of peace comes upon us, it will not look at our faces. It will not look upon what we wear. It will not look upon our names. It will only steal away our peace, steal away our security, steal away the shelter upon which and into which we run to keep ourselves safe. For that reason, we have been privileged by God to give us these commitments that we have to Him so that we can express our livelihood in peace and in unity.
Reverend James Cole of the Christian Council stated that as Gambians head to the poll, the mood among many is anger, but that the interfaith initiative is here to change the narrative. He pointed out the need for Gambians to realize the fact that elections are just events, but the nation is here to stay, saying all tribes are equal and should coexist in peace, love and harmony. For Star TV News, I am Binta Koli.
The Monitoring Mediation Group on Code of Conduct on Elections has called on political parties to commit to the Code of Conduct they signed for a peaceful election and ensure they avoid hate speech during their campaigns. More in this report.
On November 11, 2021, some presidential candidates met at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center, where they appended their signature to a document called towards peaceful presidential election in the country. This document will guide the conduct of presidential parties in relations to their messaging to ensure hate speech is not used as a campaign material. The Monitoring Group on Code of Conduct on Election earlier this week organized a press briefing as part of the many local and international efforts for a peaceful national exercise. The Gambia local facilitator on the Monitoring Group on Code of Conduct on Election, Mrs. Elizabeth Reina, recalled the pledge made by the presidential candidates earlier this month, committing to ensure that they and their supporters promote peace in the election period.
In the Code of Conduct, the presidential candidates pledged to commit themselves and their supporters to peaceful presidential elections. The candidates also demonstrated their commitments to credible elections, peace, justice, and the democratic stability of the nation by agreeing to, among other things, the following. 1. To run issue-based political campaigns at village, town, city, district, constituency, municipal, regional, and national levels. 2. To publicly condemn violence, intimidation, and political thuggery at any time during the election process.
She warned against the use of media to spread hate speech and stoke tension, lamenting that the campaign period has seen increased political activism and heightened tensions with incidents of hate speech by political activists being recorded on some media platforms.
Incidents of hate speech by political activists have been recorded on our television and radio stations. In this regard, we, the 5 guarantors of the Code of Conduct, namely Chairman of the Christian Council, Bishop James Allen Yo Odiko, President of the Supreme Islamic Council, Sheikh Essa Dabo, Honorable Mrs. Elizabeth Reina, Mr. Usman Yabo, and His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, and the National Elections Response Group, here represented by a chairman, we would like to take this opportunity to remind all presidential candidates of their commitments to avoid hate speech and conduct peaceful campaigns.
Madam Rena's statement was meanwhile rendered in other local languages by herself. The President of the Supreme Islamic Council, Sheikh Issa Dabo, and the Chairman of the Gambia Christian Council, Bishop James Allen Yao Adiko. For Star TV, I am Moto El Baji.
Those were the local stories. The international news will come up soon after the short break. Stay tuned.
The Gambia goes to the polls on December 4th, 2021 to elect a president who will steer the affairs of the country for the next 5 years. As the country prepares for this spirited national exercise, the National Council for Civic Education, NCCE, reminds the public that the conduct of presidential election is a constitutional requirement as enshrined in Section 46 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, and voting a civic duty which every eligible patriotic citizen should discharge on December 4, 2021 as enshrined in Sections 26 and 39 of the Constitution. As politicians embark on campaign trails across the length and breadth of the country, canvassing for votes, the NCCE reminds the public that political participation, association and voting are fundamental rights of every citizen, hence the need to exercise tolerance and civility throughout the period, and refrain from the use of abusive language, hate speech, provocative actions, intimidation, thuggery and physical confrontation at all times, as these contravene the laws of the Gambia. The general public is encouraged to stay away from any altercation and follow due process to seek redress when the need arises to ensure peace and stability throughout the process. Our collective desire for accelerated socio-economic growth and development could only be achieved in an atmosphere of peace and tranquility. The Gambia has a secret ballot system. Your vote is secret and will not be known by anyone. Every vote is important in an election, as each can make a difference, and as customary, counting shall be on the spot. Political affiliation is your right. Your vote, your choice. Vote wisely. This message is brought to you by the National Council for Civic Education with support from the United Nations Development Programme.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulunding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gosh Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gosh Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gosh on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gosh Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.goshglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh.
The Red Cross emblem. The unauthorized use of the Red Cross emblem in the Gambia is illegal and punishable by law. Did you know that in the Gambia, only the Gambia Red Cross Society and the medical services of the Gambia Armed Forces with specific restrictions are allowed to use the Red Cross emblem? Did you know that the use of the Red Cross emblem by commercial entities such as hospitals, pharmacies, health posts, private and public properties is also considered as misuse of the emblem? That its misuse could threaten Red Cross missions and put humanitarian workers at risk? The emblem is fully protected by the international humanitarian law and the laws of the Gambia, and its misuse by any other party leads to its violation, which is sanctioned with penalties. The Gambia Red Cross utilized the emblem to signify our promise, neutrality and impartiality, to provide assistance to all people in need regardless of race, color, belief, religion or political affiliation. It serves as a symbol of protection and assistance for the Red Cross teams, while to those we serve, it is a symbol of hope. Let's know, respect and protect the Red Cross emblem.
CAF Africa Global is the first and biggest private estate developer in the Gambia and present in 7 other African countries. We take pride in leading innovation in all spheres of real estate sector in the Gambia and beyond. As such, we are launching the development of the first smart and modern office and retail towers in the Gambia called TAF Twins. The Taft Twins is located in the heart of the Kanifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive away from Banjul. Taft Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 square meters to over 1,000 square meters with 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24 hours electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shop. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333. Thank you.
Welcome back after the commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is Star TV News from our studios here in Serekunda. And now on the international news. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has been personally leading the military from the front line since Tuesday after fighting between the Ethiopian government and Tigerian rebels escalated in recent weeks. Meanwhile, the presidents of Kenya, South Africa, and the United States Secretary of State have reiterated calls for a ceasefire. Al Jazeera's Victoria Getimba reports.
Abiy Ahmed once described war as the epitome of hell, but Ethiopia's Prime Minister is now front and centre in a conflict that's been raging for a year. He reached the front line on Tuesday, according to a government spokesman, and is now personally leading the military against rebels from the northern Tigray region, leaving the business of government to his deputy.
It is a big gamble if you look at past kind of similar gambles when then Chadian President Idris Deby went to the front lines and he lost his life, even when they had actually defeated the rebels in Chad. And so Abiy Ahmed is risking his life.
Abiy's decision to go to the front line has boosted recruitment for Ethiopia's beleaguered armed forces. Thousands have signed up to follow Abiy's lead, including Olympic gold medalist Haile Gebrselassie. The 48-year-old retired champion says he felt compelled to act.
A sportsman is always an ambassador for peace. Now, when I say I'm going to the front line, people could say, wait a minute, you have been a mediator and you're a sportsman. Sport is about peace and love. No. What would you do when the existence of a country is at stake? You just put down everything. Nothing will stop you.
Fighting between the Ethiopian government and Tigrayan rebels has escalated in recent weeks. Rebel fighters are now around 200 kilometres from the capital Addis Ababa. The presidents of Kenya and South Africa, as well as the US Secretary of State, have reiterated calls for a ceasefire. There are concerns the war could spill over across the Horn of Africa.
Already the Horn is very unstable with Sudan, the recent coup there, Somalia still disintegrating, Al-Shabaab gaining ground there. Now, the last thing that the region wishes to have is a disintegrated Ethiopia. And the West's interests are going to really just go up in flames.
As these new recruits prepare to head to the front line to join government forces, a negotiated settlement doesn't look likely anytime soon. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
In Sudan, rallies have begun to honor those killed during protests against a military takeover on October 25th. At least 41 people were killed in the violence, but security forces have denied using live fire on protesters. Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok has ordered an investigation. He was reinstated after signing a deal with the military on Sunday. Al Jazeera's Razul Sada meets one family who lost their daughter in the protests.
The fight for democracy has come with a high cost for one Sudanese family. Zainab Bakar, a mother, lost her youngest daughter, Sita Nufur, on November 17 in protest against the military takeover a month before. Bakar says her 24-year-old daughter was a nurse who dreamed of saving lives, but her life was suddenly taken away from them last week.
When I learned she died, I couldn't see or feel anything. I started screaming and my heart was about to stop. I couldn't handle that. She was like a mother to me, even though I am her mother. What else can I say?
This video, taken by fellow protesters on the day, documents the final moments of Sita Nufur's life. Her friends who were protesting with her carried her body back home. Her father was at work when he got the call about his daughter.
I'm trying to deal with the loss of my beloved one. I got back home, the door was locked, and I saw her dead body being carried by her friends. I cried, her friends cried, she was taken from me.
Hundreds of thousands in Sudan have been protesting against the military, which seized power on October 25th, dissolving the country's 2-year transitional government and arresting senior political figures. More than 40 people have been killed and some 200 others injured. Sudan's police have denied using live ammunition on protesters, despite several videos showing men in uniform firing on civilians. The military takeover has thrown Sudan into a political crisis. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok, who was under house arrest, has been reinstated as part of an agreement with the military to try and bring the country back to its path of transition after decades of military rule. But many protesters have opposed the deal, saying they want the military out of power and held accountable for the lives lost. Ali Farsab, another protester who was injured in one of the demonstrations, despite those injuries, he told us that security forces detained him for 2 days, which he described as the toughest of his life.
The security forces attacked us. I fell down. I was shot and then arrested. I have been beaten and hurt. They took me in a truck. Then every single soldier there hit me. My hands and legs were handcuffed.
Prime Minister Hamdok has pledged to set up a committee to look into the deaths of protesters. For Zainab Bakar's family, an investigation will not bring her daughter back. But Sita Nufur's sister says that she finds some comfort in the reason her sister participated in the protest.
When she was about to die, she told her friend, "I'm dying for my country."
A cost that many others have paid and more could pay as the transition to democracy in Sudan remains fragile. Families grieving loved ones say only a complete democratic rule can deliver them the justice they demand. Rasul Sardar, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.
Boko Haram now appears to be on the back foot after 12 years of carrying out attacks in Nigeria's northeastern Borno state. But security forces have stepped up their campaign against the armed group in recent years, and people in Borno say they feel at ease about venturing out again. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reports from Borno State's capital.
Borno State's colorful Davas are back after years of absence, a heritage dating back centuries. As Boko Haram fighters slowly lose ground, music and dance of a once proud people has bounced back.
Borno has started coming back to life because all that we cannot express during the last 10 years or so is now gradually coming back to life again. So therefore, it will actually take us for quite some time before maintaining our former glory as we were known.
Just a few years ago, marriages were either held away from the state or organized with minimal crowds for fear of attacks. Not anymore. Despite economic hardships, such important occasions are now being celebrated with pomp.
People here in Borno State love their cultural festivities, but these celebrations couldn't hold just a few years ago for fear of Boko Haram attacks. As the security improves, families are getting together to celebrate again.
The Nigerian military has stepped up its operations against Boko Haram in recent years. Tens of thousands of displaced people are now able to go back to their homes. And with peace slowly returning, people here are now reviving the festivities and ceremonies of the past.
You can't always be in a sad moment or sad staying. Like as you can see, people are enjoying themselves after services. You go to work, you go to the local government and work. When you come back, you need something like something that will make you happy. You go out there, drink, dance, catch phone and gist with your friends. Yeah.
Borno State has lost many of its musicians and cultural artifacts to the 12-year-old Boko Haram conflict. But government and traditional leaders are pushing for a cultural revival
something elders say could take a decade or more to restore. For now, people here are savoring the social and cultural rebirth of their region, and they look forward to the weekends, especially to unwind and enjoy themselves. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Maiduguri, Northeast Nigeria.
And before we end the news, a recap of our main headlines. TRRC presents final report to President Barrow. Orikoli outlines reasons why APRC executives endorse Barrow. GAF holds graduation ceremony for personnel on completion of QRF training. Christian Islamic Councils preach peace ahead of general elections. Monitoring group on code of conduct for elections warn against hate speech. On the international scene, Ethiopia's PM Abiy Ahmed leading military from the front line. Sudanese mourn victims of protest crackdown. Nigeria security. Fears of Boko Haram fade in Borno State. That's all for this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Thanks for watching and bye for now.